Well, I think right now, looking especially at what's kind of happening in America, that it's, I think, profoundly important for us to really be able to teach truth and logic, um, truth, beauty, and goodness in the classical sense of how God wishes for his kingdom to be here on this earth. And so when looking at today and education being one of the big hot topics in the United States, for us to be able to clearly teach what is critical theory, for example, today, how to see it in our textbooks and in our movies and in what we look at and what we see and what's going on around us. Is it biblical or is it not? And how can we see it? So this week, we're going to be actually taking a look at one of the top textbooks that's used in public universities and now down into the high school world, and being able to really use examples for the students to really catch on to what is critical theory. Is this something that's going to tear the nation apart? Where does it come from? Where are its roots? And look at the scripture and just see the incredible difference in that, where one is going to divide. It's going to divide on issues that the scriptures teach us we are not to be divided on those issues. And what do we see happening in our culture as a result of that? And so it's something that, again, when we see in our movies and in our books and in social media, for our students to be able to really see what are the spiritual and biblical roots of it, and how not to necessarily be afraid that these things aren't new. Might be critical theory, might be a new term that we use today, but there's really nothing new under the sun. And we see this back even in American history, where two opposing groups are pitted against each other, and how are they going to deal with that situation? So I think that's one of the things that we really want to do is to hit and to take a look and see what are these ideas. Take a look at the root causes, look at the scripture, and then there's always a way out. There's always hope. And that is something that I think really, as we get back to the scriptures and as they teach us that the hope of the gospel and the hope in how we're living our lives today and how we're thinking is something that really can heal a nation, heal our wounds. And as it teaches us how to love our neighbor, how to listen, how to treat, how to walk through these things. And so I look at that, and so to really make sure that our students understand truth, and there's no way outside the scriptures to be finding that out. What's being taught in the world today? How are we seeing it? Making sure that we have nothing to fear, that God or Jesus is victor. His kingdom is coming to this earth, and that we get to boldly, in love and also in humility, be able to point to Jesus Christ and to truth there. So that, I think, when we talk about preparing our students for action, and the action is truth and love and giving and serving in a courageous way, that is the world is going to look and say, wow, look at them. I want what they have. And then simply they're going to be able to clearly say the difference is Jesus Christ in my life, and not my political affiliation or my education or my upbringing or you name it. They are going to be able to see Christ and want him. That's going to change the culture.